That's a late dive bomb move. Look at the sparks flying.
The voices of the Formula 1 commentators shouting like crazy.
About to do battle. Monza all over again.
No. That's not the way you have to do it. There's little tips and secrets to create a much more dynamic commentary, increasing the intensity and the energy of your F1 edits. And in this video, you will learn how to do it properly. My name is Dani Lozano. Some people know me as Floss. I was creating during the last 10 years Formula 1 edits, documentaries and videos in my main YouTube channel Floss by Dani Lozano. This is an edit that I'm making this year in a new project named as DocuEdit Formula 1 2024 season. You have more information about it in the channel. I have a playlist. In this edit I'm making is about Carlos Sainz and his extraordinary first race in 2024 in the Bahrain Grand Prix. And there's a moment where Carlos Sainz is fighting against Charles Leclerc, his teammate in Ferrari. This is the commentary I select for this race action.
Two Ferraris. Look at the sparks flying.
Two Ferraris, look at the sparks flying. But as you can see, there's a cut between two audios.
Two Ferraris. Look at the sparks flying.
The original audio, the commentator is not really saying that.
Two Ferraris about to do battle. Monza all over again. Look at the sparks flying.
I picked two Ferraris about to do battle. I discarded. Look at the sparks flying. Why I'm doing that? In the sequence you can see, first of all, one piece of the footage where Carlos Sainz is just behind Charles Leclerc chasing and trying to overtake Charles, and in the next sequence you see the two cars going to turn one, and from the back you can see the sparks flying. I don't need this phrase about to do battle because it's obvious they are battling. Monza all over again. Okay, here the commentator is mentioned the last race that Ferrari did in Monza in 2023 when Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz battling almost until last lap each other to fight for a podium place. This information is not relevant for the lead at all. The spectator is watching Carlos Sainz passing Charles Leclerc in Bahrain 2024. The spectator doesn't need to know that this can be Monza 2023 all over again. That's why I need to eliminate all this section of commentary, because I need the commentator says just that, because it's what is happening on the footage.
Two Ferraris. Look at the sparks flying.
Thumbs up, don't forget like this video, you help me a lot to be recommended more often across YouTube. This edit is for the same project, the DocuEdit Formula 1 2024 season. This edit is about Charles Leclerc this year in Monaco in the qualifying session where he get the pole position doing an extraordinary lap and later on he won that race. The commentary is the moment Charles Leclerc get the pole position.
As he comes across the line, Charles Leclerc will start from the very front of the field.
And as you can see, they are cut. In the second example, I divide the original phrases that the commentator is saying once Charles Leclerc cross the line and get poles in three different parts. The first part is as he comes across the line.
As he comes across the line.
Then I cut another phrase where the commentator is saying the name of the driver. He's getting pole, Charles Leclerc.
Charles Leclerc!
And the third part of the audio that I pick is will start from the very front of the field.
Will start from the very front of the field.
Between Charles Leclerc and will start from the very front of the field, there are more commentary in the middle.
Charles Leclerc, for the third time in his Formula 1 career, will start from the very front of the field.
But I discarded because I was not interested on it. It's talking about the stats, about how many times Charles Leclerc was starting on pole in Monaco. What I'm doing here is to adapt the images, what is happening on track at that moment, with precise comments about what is happening in the footage.
As he comes across the line, Charles Leclerc will start from the very front of the field.
That's why I need the commentator says specifically he comes across the line, who? Charles Leclerc, and will start from the very front of the field. The rest, it doesn't matter. If it's the third time, the second time, he will start from pole in Monaco. It's not relevant. I'm making and preparing a lot of videos about more tips and tricks to create incredible Formula 1 edits. That's why I recommend you subscribe to this YouTube channel. And the third, a more interesting example It's in order of the F1 edits I'm making for my project Tokyo Edit Formula 1 24 season. It's super important you understand the edit is focused in Oscar Piastri. George Russell is attacking Piastri and they fight in the chicane, and Piastri don't give up and keep the position. And this is the commentary, pay attention.
Oh, that's a late dive bomb move, going wheel to wheel. Piastri refusing to give that one up.
And what I did was to pick 3 independent audio takes from the same comment, that is all this one about the action, and to mix them to create a much shorter commentary.
Oh, that's a late dive bomb move, going wheel to wheel. Piastri refusing to give that one up.
The original commentary about this action is longer.
Oh, that's a late dive bomb move, or an attempt for one for George Russell, going wheel to wheel with Oscar Piastri. Piastri refusing to give that one up.
I select this part, oh, that's a late dive bomb move. This part I discarded, or an attempt for one for George Russell, going wheel to wheel. I maintain this part of the phrase. With Oscar Piastri I eliminate, and Piastri refusing to give that one up. This is maintained. At the end we have, oh, that's a late dive bomb move, going wheel to wheel, Piastri refusing to give that one up.
Oh, that's a late dive bomb move, going wheel to wheel. Piastri refusing to give that one up.
Oh, that's a late dive bomb move, and you can see the move of George Russell to Oscar Piastri, or an attempt for one for George Russell. This information is not relevant for the edit. It doesn't matter if it's an attempt or not. This is extra information that we don't really need. And for George Russell also we don't need this information. Most of the people is Formula 1 fan and they know drivers. They will see that the helmet is blue in the Mercedes. They will know that it's George Russell. And also at the beginning of the edit I create a graphic with the driver's name, and you can see before the dive bomb move from George that I include a graphic that says George Russell, who is the driver who is attacking Piastri. So we don't need to know from the commentator's voice that is George Russell who is attacking Piastri. Going wheel to wheel is important. We don't need this phrase with Oscar Piastri. We know Oscar Piastri is being attacked because the full edit since the beginning is an edit of Oscar Piastri. And the final phrase, Piastri refusing to give that one up, I have to maintain in it because it's what is happening. George Russell trying to attack Piastri, and Piastri decides to go by the escape route to maintain the lead in that battle. Adding commentary in F1 edits is just one little part of the whole process to create a Formula 1 edit. That's why I'm making on YouTube an official series that is in this playlist, explaining tips about how to use music in F1 edits, about how to create spectacular transitions, a lot of things that you have there. Now guys, you know how to fit a good commentary in your Formula 1 edits, but there is a much crucial part: to select a good song and to adapt that song properly to the edit. That's why in this video I explain how to do it. Thanks for watching and see you soon in the next video that will be absolutely spectacular. Bye bye.